Well, and here it is, guys, the M3 fully wrapped. Now, if you guys are wondering, hey man, why isn't this some big reveal? Why aren't you excited or happy? Well, that's because I got scammed. Scammed, lied to, played, bamboozled, whatever you want to call it, it happened to me. So I'll tell you guys all about this wrap in a second here. But before I do, let's just go somewhere else. Hopefully get some better lighting. The neighbor's dog is also looking at me, so I know it's gonna start barking. I'll tell you guys exactly how I got scammed. And yeah, unfortunately, this isn't clickbait. And I'll show you guys the wrap in more detail and everything will start to make sense. But before we do that, let's get a cold start because it's been a while with the M3. You know, I gotta say, as much as the situation sucks, at least I have my car back because man, I really missed this car. So before I tell you guys exactly what happened, let me just make this clear. I'm not here to, make anybody look bad, to ruin anybody's life, or to blast anyone. So for that reason, I'm not gonna mention any names. I'm not gonna mention any shop names. Obviously, I had a video with the guy in the shop. I actually took that video down. At the end of the day, it wasn't explicitly malicious. If it was, that'd be a different story. It was just very stupid. Man, I miss this car. 2.5 weeks since I've had it. Anyways, let's get talking. By the way, I just noticed my tires are going flat. So that's good. So let's go back to the very beginning. If you guys have been watching my channel, you'll know this M3, the original plan was to get it wrapped. I eventually gave up with that plan because it's just way too expensive. I didn't know if it was gonna be worth it. Well, a lot of you guys and some family members and friends convinced me that I should get the car wrapped. It'll be better for YouTube, it'll be better for marketing, it'll be better for thumbnails, all that type of stuff. Like if it was just my car, I would not wrap it. I only wrap it so that way I can continue to make more money with this car by making it more exciting. So the point is, I decided to wrap the car. So what I did was reach out to a whole bunch of people via Instagram and try to see if there's a shop that's willing to work with me on some type of partnership. Now, let me just say, guys, this wrap guy that I ended up going to, he's recommended by a few of you, and I'm not holding anybody accountable. Like, I talked to this guy, he seemed super reasonable, he seemed super knowledgeable, told me he had years and years of wrapping experience, he had a literal shop and a location. So I expected, good things from him. Now, let me also make this clear. Everybody's human, everybody makes mistakes, Hannah Montana. But seriously though, I'm not expecting perfection. What really upset me, and I'll make that clear as I tell the story, is how things went about. So I dropped off the car with him and he told me by Saturday the car should be mainly done. So I thought, okay, maybe by Sunday, worst case scenario. Didn't hear anything from him. By the way, I've been asking for pictures the whole time. He sent me virtually no pictures, so I thought it was a little weird, but I was like, all right, whatever, maybe he's just busy. So again, the car was supposed to be mainly done by Saturday, so I waited until Monday to hit him up and say, hey, how's it going? When's the car gonna be done? He said, yeah, it's going good. The car should be done on Wednesday. Okay, cool. So I waited until Wednesday, and mind you guys, at this point, the Supra was gonna expire by Wednesday. So by Wednesday, I was gonna be left with no car other than the X5, if you guys watched my previous video. So Wednesday passed, of course, the car still wasn't ready. I still didn't hear back, so I messaged a few days later, I think on maybe Saturday actually. So I gave him a lot of time. And I said, hey man, at this point I have just one car. It's me and my wife, it's the weekend. I kind of need my car back. I had family over, I was in a tough situation. Things that I don't normally show you guys, but I was in a tough spot. So messaged him on Saturday. He actually responded to me and he said, hey man, sorry, I've had some family medical emergencies. Now I know what you guys are thinking. Well, you're being impatient with this guy and he had a family medical emergency. Well, that was a lie. So I want to keep this long story short, but unfortunately, there are people just yelling weird things as they see me holding a camera over here. So we're gonna see if we can go to the top of the garage and I'll continue to tell you guys what happened and I'll show you guys the wrap in more detail because I know what you're thinking. So he just took a while and the wrap is fine. What are you complaining about? There's more. And again, guys, this story gets much, much worse. I know I keep on saying that, man, I really miss driving this car. So much. I know it's only been 2.5 weeks, but still. I've only been driving the Supra for a bit, and then I've been driving the X5 for a lot of bit. But man, I really miss this car. Anyways, let's see if we can get to the top of the garage and hopefully get some better lighting and maybe a little more privacy because people are weird. I think the last thing I said was he told me about his family medical emergency. So I said, listen man, I understand that sucks. I've been sympathetic the entire time with them. Obviously guys, I'm a family man. I have 2 kids, I have a wife, I totally get it. Family is always number one, and I swear if that was a true thing, I would have been totally understanding with him, but I had a feeling he he wasn't being honest with me and he wasn't being truthful. So this was on Saturday. I said, hey man, I understand, can I just come by and pick up the car? It is what it is, even if it's not finished, like let me just come by and pick up the car. At this point, I just really need the car. And he told me, unfortunately, I have to be away for a little while. Come pick up the car on Monday. And I was like, all right, whatever, Monday. So Monday comes by, of course the car still isn't ready, and then he tells me Tuesday. And finally guys, on Tuesday, he messages me and he says, hey, the car is ready, come pick it up tonight. But unfortunately, I have to be away for a few weeks, so I won't be the one handing off the car. Little strange, right? Well, it gets weirder because I was messaging him in the beginning and then I followed up again a little later in the day. I was like, hey, like who's gonna be handing off the car so that way I know who to look for or who to contact. Mind you guys, this is getting really weird and suspicious. I'll be honest with you, this entire time, I started to get a little paranoid about the car. I didn't even know if the car was still in one piece. I was able to track the car in the app and I was able to see the car was still in the same location, but were the wheels still there? Was everything still there? I didn't know. As you guys can see, thank God, nothing was done to the car. So again, it wasn't malicious. It was just really stupid in the end. So I followed up again, like I said, and I said, hey, who am I gonna be meeting? Who can I contact? I send my message doesn't send. So I tried calling him, went straight to voicemail, and just to double check, I told my brother, here's his number, you call him. His phone rang. So clearly he had blocked me. His Instagram, he blocked me. Everywhere, he blocked me. And again, I haven't picked up the car yet. So at this point, severe red flags are going on. Now, yeah, guys, the car is here and you guys can see the car was totally fine, but I couldn't see the car in full detail. I had no idea what was going on exactly. Like anything was possible at this point. So I was super paranoid. I took my brother, we went into Jersey, we took the X5 and we went to go pick up the car. Because of a neighboring business, I was able to get into the shop before this other person was supposed to even show up. I went inside and I saw the car was there. I felt a huge sigh of relief. However, when I looked at the car, everything started to make sense. So at this point, I'm sure you guys are curious about the color and the wrap, so I'll just say this. This is a Nosatex Aventuri green. It's sort of like Isle of Man green, very similar to Isle of Man green, except it's a lot more teal. Unfortunately, it is a very gloomy day, which kind of suits the whole theme of this video, so you can't really see the true color of it. I've been planning this color for a little while now. I think it looks absolutely amazing with the gold wheels and also with the ivory interior. Like if this turned out well, I think this would have looked sick. And again, it's like Isle of Man green, but more teal and more metallic-y. But this color looks really good. Absolutely love it. Like it looks so good in the sun. It looks so good under some strong light. Again, the gloomy day isn't helping it, but it is what it is. I didn't really care about filming this on a good day because it's not supposed to be some big reveal about the wrap. It's really more about the story of what happened. So with that said, again, I know what you guys are still thinking. Well, the car is fine. Let me show you guys the wrap in a little more detail, and again, it'll make more sense. So right off the bat, let's look right over here, guys. Here's one. You can see some color discoloration or distortion because he stretched the wrap too much. Let's look at the front bumper, which is arguably the worst thing. You guys can see this, that, all of that there, all of that. Like this whole thing is just completely botched. Look at this. Like I discover something new every time. This ignore, I was getting to a shop and of course I hit my front lip and ended up being for nothing because this whole wrap is trashed. There's still more stuff here. There's a whole bunch of speckles, which I'm not sure if the camera's gonna catch, on the hood, like right over there, literally all over the car. There's a massive scratch right over here on the hood, which I don't even know how that happened. There's a wrinkle right over here. Not sure if you guys are gonna see that because of the lighting. Oh, there it goes. More things right over here. This is one of my favorites. Look at this. Didn't even make it all the way. The whole theme continues, guys. Like I can literally go all over the car. There's a massive discoloration here. The whole thing is just horrible. Like it's really bad. Look, right over here as well. I can go all day just walking around this car. Here, look, here's another wrinkle. Look at the door handles as well. You guys probably saw that early in the video. So after seeing this, and again, guys, there's still a lot more. Some stuff you can't even see that well because of the lighting. I'm sure you guys are thinking the same exact thing that I was thinking when I first saw the car. The guy clearly wasn't malicious. He just had absolutely no idea what he was doing. And if you're wondering now, like, why am I so upset about it? It's because of the lies and the lack of communication and the way that this is all went about. So when I saw the car, obviously I was there for a little bit. The guy that was supposed to hand me the car finally showed up. And I even asked him, I was like, hey man, like, is he okay? Like, he told me that his family, and I don't want to give too much of his business away because I just don't want to, but essentially he straight up lied to me. There was no family emergency, there was no medical situation. Like, I even showed my wife what happened. She was like, oh my God, I feel so bad for him. But he just lied. Clearly the guy was just in over his head. I don't know if he lied to me the whole time, if he actually knew how to rap or if he knew what he was doing, but clearly based on this, guys, this is just like, look, I'm looking at it again. Look, it's just everywhere. These are literally like rookie mistakes. And the only reason why I know that is because I watched a whole bunch of YouTube videos, because honestly, at this point, I'm not gonna send my car to anybody to rap. I'm gonna do it myself. And a lot of the things that he did, they said are like just rookie mistakes. Like this guy said he's been rapping for years, but it doesn't really show. So clearly this guy just didn't know what he was doing. And now look, for full transparency, I did not pay him any labor. That was the agreement. I was gonna buy the wrap myself. He was gonna do the labor. He just opened up his shop. He wanted some like exposure and marketing. So I was supposed to help him with all of that. This was supposed to be a continued partnership. I was gonna send him more cars. He was gonna put on his Instagram and to get more customers, just literally for marketing. I was supposed to take this car to a car show. I was gonna have his like name on the banner of the car. So I'm just being honest with you guys, I did not pay him for labor. What I did pay for was this wrap, which is about like 900 bucks after shipping, because a Nositech ain't cheap. And as you guys saw, this wrap is so bad, I kid you not, like when I drive this car on the highway, you can hear the wind hitting the wrap, because the worst spot, again, is that front bumper. So this wrap has to come off ASAP. So in the end, I paid 900 bucks for a wrap, which has to come right off, like absolutely useless. I don't even know how the paint underneath the car is. Like, I don't know if he cut the car with his knife or anything like that. I don't even know at this point. It could be even worse. But all that money is down the drain. And then also all the time that I wasted not having this car, not being able to make videos about it, not being able to make content, that's just time down the drain. I missed car shows with this thing. And again, that's not even the parts that upset me the most. It's the way that he went about it. Like, he just wasn't communicating with me. He wasn't telling me what was going on. When I asked him how it's going, he would say good, but clearly that wasn't the case. He lied about his family having a medical emergency just to, I don't even know, man. Like, just, he could have just told me. Honestly, what I wish happened is if he realized the Nositech wrap was too hard to work with, or the M3 was just too complicated for him to wrap, I wish he just told me in the beginning, and then I would have just taken majority of the role and I would have found somebody else to do it, or I would have done it myself. I'd rather screw up my car than have somebody else screw up my car. But unfortunately, he didn't do that. He just kept on lying, and he continued. He used up the entire roll, wasted all the money on the roll, and then we ended up with this final product, which is really unfortunate because every time I see this car, like, I absolutely love the color on it. I think it looks so good on the G80 M3. But again, the car just looks so bad, I can't even keep it. Like, look at this. Every time I look at it, I see something else. Like, this looks like an absolute, oh my goodness, look at this. This is probably one of the things that makes the most noise. That's so bad. So yeah, the wrap on this car was just an absolute waste. I spent the money, I wasted the time, I was just continuously lied to. It sucks. It's like, man, if you couldn't do it, just don't lie to me. Just be truthful. We could have just resolved this together, you know? Like, why'd you have to lie and just avoid me? Like, it was clearly so bad. The guy blocked me. He didn't even want to see me face to face when I saw this car. And clearly he knew that I was gonna see it and I was gonna be upset. So he just blocked me afterwards, so I can't even contact him and be like, yo, like, you screwed up the car. I think I'm just gonna write this off as a lesson learned. And I'm not gonna bring my car to shops anymore. I'm just gonna try to do everything myself. Like, I try to, but wrapping's a whole other thing. I'm just gonna learn how to do it myself, and I'm gonna figure it out. If nothing else, I'm glad that he used my car and botched it and not one of your guys' cars. So smash that subscribe button, because we're gonna be wrapping these cars ourselves from now on. Anyways, with that said, this video's pretty much done. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Some of y'all don't listen at all. The same they be pushing your buttons. Got a grown man